therapist is going to be invested in the process with you. If if I'm not invested in it, then I might miss out on, key things that you're saying. If I'm not actively listening, and if I don't have the empathy, these are some things that you really can't teach empathy. I can teach active listening, head nod or like making eye contact and things like that, but you have to invest in to what you're hearing. And the other thing for me is, as a therapist, I always talk about like balance, making sure that different areas of my life are balanced. So even when I'm sitting in the therapy room over here, um, that I'm present, right? So being present with my clients, because a lot of times all they need for you to do, all they're asking is for someone to show up, you know? And it's not necessarily about all the different stories that you may hear, because sometimes there's usually a theme that kind of play out in people's lives. So it's not all about the stories that you hear. It's about showing up, being invested, as well as actively listening and having some empathy. And those are the things that keep a therapist connected to their clients. If I don't show up, if I'm not present, if I am off in la la land, if I'm thinking about other things, if I'm rushing around doing whatever, then I'm not gonna be present with my clients. And so once you're able to kind of settle in, as a therapist, settle in and really get invested, um, and actively listen and have empathy, um, then those connections just come. They do, they really do, that just come. So for me, I have a good memory. Sometimes it might take me a minute to get to it, right? To think about like making that connection. Um, but it does eventually happens. But you're never really forcing it. I'm also the type of person that says, whatever, if it was meant to be, it will be. So sometimes if I am listening to a client and I want to make a connection and then I lose that connection because they're like, continuing in their story, then for me, I'm like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant for me to say that. So yeah, so that's kind of how I am able to connect with my clients and remember their stories and kind of remember those things. What kind of, even just sometimes remembering their facial expressions when they told a story, the way their body language was, is very key. To this is something that might be important to that person. So just kind of doing some things like that.